still may be of interest to people who will be following the division the Atlantic Division with Tampa Bay and Florida. Your position is very simple. You think Florida could be one of the top teams in that division, and you can tell us why, because I know you followed them closely last year.
I think they're a heck of a hockey team, and they've made some additions up front and on defense that I think are going to help them even more. Only question I have, does Bobrovsky get back to the form that he had before? And can Spencer Knight, and after watching him play those 2 games in the playoffs against the Lightning, he looked really good. He's big, he moves very well, and I think that's their only weakness, if I can call it a weakness, is the goaltending, because they're just not sure about Bob. Bobrovsky needs to get back to the form that he had with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think Bobrovsky cost Dale Talon his job. And so I think he needs to get back, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, and Phil, if he could only contribute 1/2 of what they're paying him, if he could become a $5 million goaltender, they would be in good shape, particularly with the kid Spencer Knight there to give him a break. But this isn't going to be a long run for Bobrovsky. He'll play in Florida for maybe 3 more years, and I would say that's a stretch, because I'm with you, Phil. I watched the kid play in the playoffs. His performance in U.S. college speaks for itself. This guy is going to be a number 1 goaltender within 2 years. And when they can pick up a Sam Reinhart from Buffalo, which I still can't understand. Sam Reinhart.
Neither can I.
They gave up one of their goalies and somebody else. I forget who else it was. But the young goalie, the 4th goalie out of Montreal, he was a junior. And so they gave nothing up on their team, and they've added a guy like Reinhardt who will end up playing on that first line with the big guy and arguably the best player in the game right now. And I'm not saying they're going to run away and hide, because they're not. Nobody's going to do that with Tampa. But the 2 best teams in the East very easily could be in the state of Florida. That's how much I think of your comment. I think it's very accurate, and it is. They're getting the defenseman back, whose name eludes me. Just the big kid, number 8, who is from Windsor, was their first-round draft pick, and he hurt his knee. But him back, they'll be outstanding.
Yeah. Ekblad. He had a breakout season last year till he got hurt.
Yeah. He was really having a banner year, and injuries are part of it. But I'm always a believer that injuries are a factor of luck to a certain extent, and so I think that Aaron Ekblad has had his fair share of bad luck from an injury standpoint. He doesn't need another one, but if he can play a full year without a catastrophic injury, he's that good, because they have other defensemen now that played well once he was hurt. I think that the general manager did a nice job of putting together a group of players that Joel Quenneville took into his hands and just molded them. They're ready to play, and they're not as good as Tampa, but who knows? Playoffs bear a lot of surprises, including injuries that they don't expect, and it'd be too bad, because they'll end up playing each other before they get to the Eastern Conference final, likely. But it'll be an interesting division to see those 2 teams going at each other.
Well, Billy, I think about the East or the Atlantic Division. You've got Boston, you've got Toronto. Ottawa's going to be better.
Yeah.
Buffalo, I'm sorry, but they are in a freaking mess.
Yeah.
They are. And that's.
And they're not going to. They're going to be in the bottom two, and I don't know who the other one is. I mean, Detroit could be, but Buffalo's going to be there. They're going to be going for the lottery pick again next year.